this Monday afternoon. We're going to be starting off with the Dominaria quick draft, though. I'm going to go ahead and hit that button, spin it up, and so see what we've got here. Alright, so, this pack sucks. I'm just going to come out and say that right now. This pack's terrible. I don't see anything that I want in my deck. I don't think Squeeze ever the right play, but I mean, maybe in some world. Is this the best card in the pack? Is a common Gideon's Reproach or Sergeant at Arms? Sergeant at Arms can be kicked at least. Thallid Soothsayer. So if we decide that we're going black-green, Thallid Soothsayer is alright, isn't it? That's a pretty good payoff. It gives us a sacrifice outlet. Yargle's terrible. I never want to play Yargle. I don't think I ever want to play Gaia's Blessing, really. Target player shuffles 3 cards from their graveyard into their library, draw a card. When it's put into the graveyard, shuffle your graveyard into your library. If it's milled, shuffle it. So, if we run against mono turtles and we're losing, which means that we basically didn't draft right, then it's good. So I think our calls are, look, there's Thallid Soothsayer is alright. Sergeant at Arms is okay. Academy Drake's pretty decent. If we end up on anything into blue, Academy Drake's fine, right? Relic Runner's pretty bad. Divest isn't that good in this format. Llanowar Scout's okay. Otherwise, we could pick up a Short Sword or a Skittering Surveyor to let us splash more easily. So for me, it's between Academy Drake and Thallid Soothsayer. Academy Drake's a 2/2 flyer for 3. Soothsayer is a 2/3 for 4, but it has the sacrifice outlet that lets us draw cards. I think Drake is going to be the play here. I'm going to take the Academy Drake, and we're going to just start on blue. And we'll keep an open eye on anything. So we have another Academy Drake here. We've got Eviscerate. We have Garna. We have Wizard's Lightning. If we end up on a Wizard deck, Wizard's Lightning is real nice. Even if we don't, it's still a good piece of removal. If we end up blue-black, like blue-black flyers, Eviscerate's probably the best removal spell in the format. Well, the best single target common removal spell in the format. Let's back up a little bit on that. But Wizard's Lightning or another Academy Drake, I think those are the best plays. It's definitely between these 3. I wonder if our rare was blue. Like, there's no other blue in this pack. That might just be a little bit of a unlucky thing, though. So what's going to wheel? After we take our pick, what's going to wheel? Like, you have to imagine all 3 of these are going to go pretty quickly. Soul Salvage could wheel. Gift of Growth and Pierce the Sky could wheel. Seismic Shift is going to wheel. Devant Trapper could wheel. Memorial's pretty good too, but I don't think that I want to make that jump yet where I'm grabbing a non-playable card, like grabbing a land this early on. I think I just want to take another Academy Drake. I keep moving more and more towards that, so I'm going to take the Academy Drake, and we'll just have 2 of those. I'm not unhappy with any amount of Academy Drakes at the end of the day. Alright, so this is where we're moving off color. We're not picking up Explorers here. We could look at blue-white. We could play Joda and go 3-color. That feels kind of icky. But I do like the color combination. The blue, white, and red. If I was going to go 3-color off of Academy Drakes, off of 2 Academy Drake picks, that'd be the color combination that I'd go if I went 3-color. We don't really want to go 3-color, though. And I don't necessarily think I'm comfortable picking up something that just cuts out 2-color options if we're going to run it. Caligo Skin Witch is fine. We have a lot of kicker synergies going if we pick up Skin Witch here. And it's a decent blocker on the ground, which we might need if we're running, like, Academy Drakes. I'm going to take Skin Witch. I think we're going to look at black as our second color. There was a decent amount of black in the last pack as well. There's another Joda. What the frick? What the French toast? I guess we're going to probably take a Syncopate here. Or a Jousting Lance. We've got a lot of flyers and stuff. Jousting Lance could be a good way to push through some extra damage. I'm gonna just take the Jousting Lance. I don't love Syncopate. I don't hate it either. Cinco, Jousting Lance. Otherwise, Keldon Overseer is probably the next best card, or Mesa Unicorn are the only other like creature playables. Joda's just okay. Joda's good, but like we're not gonna be on color for Joda. And I don't think I'm ever building a Joda deck. If I was ever gonna build a Joda deck, this would be the time that I'd snatch up the Joda and I'd try to play it. I'm just gonna take the Jousting Lance though. I think that's way safer. So we have Sentinel the Pearl Trident, Power Stone Shard. We have Opt. We have Stronghold Confessor. We have Cabal Paladin. Excavation Elephant, Bloodstone Goblin, Run Amok, Keldon Raider, and Zalfurin Void. The Scryland's cool. I don't think it's good, but it's cool. So I want to play Sentinel here, I think. I think having the Flash 3/3 body is pretty nice. And it'll give us a little bit more top end. If we find a Saga to bounce... That's the third Joda Archmage Eternal in a row. I don't want it. Stop showing it to me. Alright, we'll take Fire Intervention, I think. We'll splash for that. Otherwise, it's, Unwind, Artificer's Assistant, Thallid Omnivore are the other things that are on color for us. Splashing for Fiery does not make me unhappy. I think we're just gonna go ahead and snap pick that. Wand, we're not playing. Vigor. +1/+1 returns to hand. This could potentially be a sideboard thing. We could also take a short sword here. I think the short sword is better than Demonic Vigor. Memorial to War could potentially be our red splash, but I don't know if I'm in love with just playing a tapped land when we don't need to. Blessing of Belzenok is +2/+1. If it's legendary, it gains first strike. We don't have anything that's legendary that we have yet. Excavator, when you cast a historic spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. If we had found this early on, I might have tried to make a mill deck just for shits and giggles, but it's at the end of the first pack. Maybe I just take it anyways. I don't really want to play Ops in this deck. F it, why not? You know, maybe we somehow end up on Diligent Excavator Mill. It's not happening, but it's not a terrible card. There are actually a lot of historic synergies, right? We've got a couple of equipments already. The Relic Runner might make the cut. I do like Soul Salvage here quite a bit. Feral A-Bomb is fine. And let's see. None of these are really cards that we're going to play. We could, like, technically... Divest is playable in our deck. It's the only one that's playable in our deck, but we're not playing it. But we'll sideboard it. We'll have it on the sideboard. Cabal Paladin. So we have a decent amount of these cards that do stuff if we have Historic. And there's Eldest Reborn and Zahid, which are both cards that we want, as well as that Arcane Flight. I think we're just snapping up Zahid here. We've already got a couple of artifacts. I'm not even taking my time on that. That's the pick. There's a Orgoros, which we will probably be picking here. Orgoros. Or whatever I said a second ago. Academy Journey Mage is also really good. We've got a bunch of reasons to take the Legendary, though, so far. MTGA Facebook community. Hey, what's up, Gunrock82? Welcome in, man. We are on the second pick right now. Yeah, I figured that was supposed to be a hey. Yeah, shout outs to the MTGA Facebook group. You guys are awesome. This is my first time posting on there. Hey, man, thank you for the follow. Appreciated. So I'm looking at Urgros here. I know Journey Mage is also really good, but I think we've got like Cabal Paladins and Relic Runner. I think I'm going Urgros. Let's do it. Naban. We don't really have a whole lot of Wizard synergy right now. That's the only downside of taking Naban, right? He does proc our legendary triggers, but otherwise he's a 2-1 for 1. Looks like you're building towards Dimir. Yeah, we're building blue-black. Yep. Dimir. We've gotten a few kind of big payoffs so far. Urgoros and Zahid both like just came around, but our first pack was kind of bad. We picked up a couple Academy Drakes, which are, you know, like basically the highlights of the first couple packs. Caligo Skin Witch. The Jousting Lance isn't ever terrible. Sentinel the Pearl Trident. If we get another opportunity to pick up the big Black Saga, we probably will, since we do have a way to bounce it with Sentinel. Yeah, Eldest Reborn. We passed one earlier for Zahid, though. I think Zahid was still the right call. So I'm thinking like more Academy Drakes never hurts. Lance on the Turtle with Arcane Flight is hilarious. Oh yeah, dude. Arcane Flight's actually kind of maybe a good shout. We've got a couple of things on the ground that we want to give flying to, probably. Like this Cabal Paladin would be really nice. Sentinel would be nice. Even just like the Relic Runner would be fine. Between that and Academy Drake, let's go Arcane Flight. Let's do it. We probably won't play the Short Sword, right? And we probably... I don't want to play this. I'm going to just do some quick editing here. I don't really want to play Unwind. Soul Salvage is fine. The rest of this is alright. Torgar. Do we play Torgar? Windgrace Acolyte also is just more flyers, and more flyers is always good. It's a 5-drop, which we only have a couple of here. Other options are Crabs, which I don't like, Rat Colony, which is pretty terrible, Blessing of Elzanok. So Torgar or Windgrace? Like, I mean, this guy is kind of a bomb, but we don't really have any stuff to sack for him. He's probably better if we were on green-black, I think. What would we be sacking to him? It'd be like Caligo, Skinwitch, Relic Runner. Those are sort of like bottom of the barrel, weakest stuff in our deck, and they're not that terrible. Skinwitch is a good blocker, and Relic Runner is going to get an extra damage. So I'm going to take Windgrace. I'm going to pass on the Torgar. Feel free to shout out if you see anything that you think I'm steering the wrong direction on, or if you see a card that you really like. Feel free to shout it out, and we'll give it a consideration. We have Journey Mage here, which is a just... I don't want to call it an absolute bomb, but it's really freaking good. We don't have a whole lot of Wizard synergy, so it's probably not going to be discounted. All we have is Skinwitch right now. We also have Stronghold Confessor as a 4-drop, which is probably one of the better 4-drops. It has Menace. Navigator Compass would let us fix for Fiery Intervention more easily. But I kind of think that we're okay with waiting until the last pack to try to find fixing for Fiery Intervention. We might just find something else that we want to run instead. I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and grab the Stronghold Confessor, just because... Man, but passing Blink of an Eye and Academy Journey Mage feels bad. These cards are so good. Let's take Blink of an Eye. You know what? That fits our 2-drop slot. It fits our 4-drop spot. It does something that we want to do. It's fine. Fungal Infection. If we weren't in the air, I would be playing Fungal Infection every time in a black deck, but we're very heavy into flyers. I should grab it anyways, just because it's really good. Arcanist is a blocker on 2. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Fungal Infection. We're gonna have that just as both a combat trick and an ability to provide a blocker for ourselves. It does a lot of good stuff. Now, would I rather have a second Fungal Infection over an Opt here? Is the question the game's posing me. And I actually don't know the answer. I'm gonna say no. I think I'd rather have an Opt over a second Fungal. Chainer's Torment. Do we want to run a Chainer's Torment? I kind of think we do. I think Chainer's Torment's actually pretty good, as long as we're not just getting completely blown out, right? Another Cabal Paladin. Don't mind if I do. I'll snap that up. We've got a decent amount of synergy with Cabal Paladin right now. Our historics, we've got, I think, 5. So having a couple of those, and then flyers, Chainer's Torment, big stuff to take them out is going to be nice. There's another Soul Salvage as well. Demonic Vigor. The nice thing about Demonic Vigor is that we do get to return something to our hand when it dies, but the downside is it's an aura, which means that you're still just kind of vulnerable to removal and stuff, right? I'm not in love with picking up a Demonic Vigor. And I don't think that I want a second Soul Salvage. Let's grab the Demonic Vigor. Let's put it on the sideboard for now. Sideboard the Explorers or Dredge Sentinel. Sideboard the Explorers. Yeah. Basically, none of these are really mattering. This is instant speed, which means that it does matter a little bit more, and we do have some historic stuff, but I don't think it makes the cut. There's another Diligent Excavator. We do have 2 Diligent Excavators and 1 Crab in the sideboard. We could play Mill. Oh no, we're not in green and there's a Multani! Oh, F, what do I do? Tetsuko Umezawa. So Tetsuko hits Skinwitch, Relic Runner, and absolutely nothing else. And itself. Man, I'm just taking this for my collection. If there's not something that just like jumps out at this pack and says, you have to have me or you're gonna get outclassed. And I don't see anything in here that shouts that. This is just going straight to my collection. This almost makes this draft worth it by itself. Valdic, Flames of the Celt, Memorial to Genius is great. We'll take Memorial here. I'm kind of sad that we haven't seen a single Coldwater Snapper. Belzenok? Belzenok's a little scary. Belzenok could potentially do a lot of damage to us. He also is a 6/6 flying trampler, though. And can win the game. There's Deep Freeze, which is removal, which might wheel. But Deep Freeze is pretty good because we're on flyers. Glider and Sparring Construct don't do anything for me. Void doesn't do anything for me. Skizzic's cool, but not in this deck. Frenzied Rage, Overseer. Yeah, it's between these two. Omnivore is nice as well, but it's between these two. What's our curve look like? We've got a decent amount of bombs, right? We've got Urgros. We've got Zahid. Abomination might not make the cut at the end of the day. We've got Chainer's Torment. Those are our, like, big things. We've got 3 big things. The 4th never killed anybody. And he makes cool sounds, too. So, that's 2 mythics in a row, isn't it? Because we just picked up Multani as well. That's cool. Settle the score. I mean, we're not going to have a Planeswalker, but just exile target creature for 2 black, 2 colorless is probably fine, right? That's good removal. Over a Dark Bargain and an Opt. Yeah, we'll do it. Another Windgrace Acolyte. Don't mind if I do. I'll take that over the blink of an eye here. There's the Deep Freeze that I was just saying, man, that would have been nice. There's the Coldwater Snapper that we were looking for earlier. Look, dude, this deck's just finishing itself. We're not having to do any work. Rona lets us cast historic cards from our graveyard. We've got a lot of those. Sentinel lets us blink our Chainer's Torment if we want to on the second turn so that we get another turn of draining. Plus it just has flash, which is nice. Explorers doesn't make the cut. Omnivore doesn't make the cut. That's a nice thing to say. Omnivore doesn't make the cut in my deck. So I can almost guarantee you... Oh, was that my vault? Is that what that noise was? I can almost guarantee you, now that I've, like, said really nice things about this deck, that we're gonna go, like, 0-3 or something, or we'll go 2 and 3. We'll go something mediocre because I'm really hyped about this deck. So what are our curve considerations? We have to cut 3 cards. That's fine. We do have a lot of double black and only 1 card that's in double blue, and we are going to be tapping an artifact a lot of the time for it because we want to leave in the Jousting Lance. I guess not a lot of the time. We'll be tapping it sometimes. If we get Jousting Lance down, we'll be tapping that. Our curve is way high, though. I'm noticing this now. So we'll cut Feral Abomination just right off the bat. Maybe I just don't play Fiery. And that gets rid of the Mountain as well that we were looking at here. I want to run all 3 of these. Zahid's a 4-drop. Kind of. No, not really. It's a 4-drop sometimes. Alright. Yep. One more cut. Is it going to be Relic Runner? Maybe just the Opt. Or the Arcane Flight. I don't think we need Arcane Flight. Arcane Flight's like, it's really good, but I'm not sure if it does enough for us in this deck. And I think this looks pretty solid. If I were to make a prediction, I'm going to say that we go at least 5 wins. I think this is one that could go all the way. I think that last pack, we had a lot of luck pulling some really good stuff. We got a Rona, like, 5th from last pick or something, and we've got the good setup for it. We've got 2 Cabal Paladins with a whole bunch of legendaries and Jousting Lance. I think we're in good shape. Alright, 3-lander with an Academy Drake in hand, a Jousting Lance, a Rona, and a Chanter's Torment. This looks okay. I'm okay with this. I am A-okay with this. May as well throw up blue first. I'm gonna syncopate you for 0. Don't play that 2-drop. Just kidding. Sparring Construct, okay. No reason to show black yet, so we'll keep playing blue lands. We'll drop a Jousting Lance down on the board. Yep. Take 1. And same deal here. We're just gonna keep playing out our blue lands and not give up our second color yet. Holding information are good. The next turn we'll slam Chanter's Torment. So now he's giving us the option of trading here. It ends up being the same amount of damage, basically. So I'll do it. We save us 1 damage this turn, and we take the same next turn, basically. So you can have your +1/+1 counter. If we get lucky, we'll draw a kill card. And there actually is a reason that we should have put a black mana down last turn, and that was in case we top-decked our 2 black to anything kill spell. We probably would have preferred to play that and take out his 4/4. We do have the option of also equipping Jousting Lance and giving him the opportunity to trade next turn while setting up to drop down Urgoros the following turn. If we decide we want to do that, it costs 3 to equip. Which means that we can't do it and play Rona. That's the only downside, but we don't really have a reason to play Rona right now. We could also just go face with the Jousting Lance equipped. Which is almost... I think that's better than leaving it back as a blocker, right? And taking a trade. Let's do that. One attacker. So he's going to drop us to 15, and then Chainer's Tournament's going to drop us to 7, I think. We should get an 8-8. Oh, he's going to drop us lower than that. Alright, we're at 12, so we'll only get a 6-6. Oh no, only a 6-6. We're at 6. We say Swamp. We say Urgoros this turn, and next turn we can Rona and buy back Trainer's Tournament, I think. Haven Sentry 3/2 flyer, sure. I'll take the trades with Urgoros because we're dropping Rona next turn. I'm sure he's willing to trade off his Wrath, right? Though I guess if he just swings with Wrath, he loses. He might just be looking at this and going, oh shit, I guess I lost. So upside here. If we swing with both of these, he has to block both of them. Otherwise, Rona Chainer's Torment wins the game. Okay. But I'm going to play it safe here, and we're just going to do this. We're going to go ahead and do the Rona, and we're going to skip the Cabal Paladin so that we can get Chainer's Torment out. All attacks. Two attacks. He has to chump both of them. Alright. Game 1 in the books. That felt good. That felt like we were doing a lot of really powerful stuff, and the opponent wasn't able to keep up, which is, that's how you want to play Magic. Alright, 1 win in the books. This is probably going to be our last draft of this set. We might be able to do one more tomorrow. I know on Wednesday I'm probably not going to have time to stream. I might stream early in the morning on Wednesday, but it's not 100% sure. If we do well on this draft, good enough that we get our gems back in value, then we will probably do another draft tomorrow. But it's looking good so far. Alright, so we've got Caligo Skin Witch as a starter here. We do have Chainer's Torment on 4, assuming we find one more land. Downside of this hand, we have mono black off the start. Upside is all of our playables are in black right now. I think this is an okay keep. And my dog is laying on my leg, so my foot's probably going to go to sleep in a minute. Everybody say hi to Wally. He's right over here. He's a sweet pup. So there's an island. That's good. That's one of our, actually a couple of our things checked off. That is our blue source. That's also our ability to play Chainer's Torment on 4. Which is one of our big win cons. This guy is on red. He's playing Sparring Construct. He's playing more red. It is a Memorial to War. So our opponent is deciding that Memorial to War is a good enough card to be playing. I don't entirely disagree as far as in Quick Draft. It's probably playable. I don't know if I'd ever be trying to pick this card up, though. The pay 5, sack it to destroy a land can matter in the late game, but usually only against decks that are splashing for a 3rd color. And you're just going to be cutting them off of whatever their splash is, right? So that's why I'm not in love. I kind of want to hold on to Skin Witch for part of me. Part of me also wants to just play it down. I'm going to go ahead and play it down. We've got a Soul Salvage in hand, so we can buy it back when we lose it. And then we can kick it. I probably should have put it down last turn. That's a little bit of a punt. A little minor punt. It costs us 1 point of damage, basically, so it's not a huge deal, but... Cyclops. Oh, am I okay with turning a Cyclops into a 5/5? I'm not. Not at this moment. Not okay with that. This is a Relic Runner. Relic Runner does not let us double block it. Let's go ahead and drop Chainer's Torment and start draining them. Not going to be swinging in and dying to the Cyclops. We're buying time until we can get something like the Windgrace down so that we can double block it. And then we're shortly following up with Urgaros. We've got Soul Salvage available as well. So we're just going to take our beats this turn. Then we'll drop Windgrace and we'll double block. We'll lose the Windgrace. We'll keep the Caligo Skin Witch on the board. Oh, Chain Whirler. Whirly girly. Yep. Island. What is the kicker on you? It's 4, right? So you're 7 with kicker? Yes. Put the Windgrace down. And we will make no attacks again. And get ready to double block the Cyclops. Hopefully this pays out for us and he doesn't have a combat trick. There's a chance that it doesn't, but I think that we're looking at a 1-for-1 trade. Cool. That was the plan. Demon Lord Belzenok. Oh, F me. We're about to be in trouble. E2. Alright, so we're gonna get our big guy here. We have to play Journey Mage, or Academy Drake, I mean, to chump block. Not Academy Journey Mage, Academy Drake. We do not have 7. And we can drop a Relic Runner here as well. Obviously not attacking into Belzenok. He does trample over as well. Belzenok's probably going to kill us. If we draw land and we don't block right now, we still die. because he only has 3 health. Alright, so we've got a block. And I think it's not good enough. I think we're going to lose this one. I think we lost to just him having the earlier Belzenaki curved out to the point that he needed to drop that down. And we may not even see land off the top here in the first place. There's Urgaros too. F, man. Alright. We've got both of those as well. It's just a little bit too late. I mean, maybe he does something wrong here. I don't know. No. Yeah, that's it. Good game. I don't know what he could have done wrong. He would have had to have, like, blocked with everything to kill it, and then not swung with Belzenok for some reason. But we're just dead. That's okay. I am finding myself wishing that we had a little bit more removal in our deck, so that we had something to shut down his Belzenok. If we had something to shut down his Belzenok, we would have been in better shape. I don't think I have any extra removal off the sideboard. I don't think we picked up anything that constitutes a way to deal with another big bomb like that, but that would be the only real way to get better right now, would be having ways to deal with the big bombs. And looking at it, the closest thing that we have is Blessing of Belzenok, right? And maybe we find a way to slip that in over an Opt or something. So what are our outs against something like that? We've got fungal infection would not have saved us. It wouldn't have been enough. Deep freeze. Settle the score. Just deep freeze and settle the score. Blessing of Belzenok will help us if we find Urgaros, Zahid, or our own Belzenok. We could also grab a Dark Bargain to find stuff. Fire Intervention also would not have been enough. I think we're just gonna have to accept that we lose to Belzenok on the board if we don't have any way to deal with it. I don't think it's worth cutting anything to add in something that only works like 3% of the time. I don't think it's a good enough response to say +2/+1 and also first strike if it's legendary. I do like to go back and look whenever I lose a game, look and see, could I have done something differently that would have saved us the game? And I think in that case the answer is no. This hand's good if we find one more land, right? Like we go Paladin into Chainer's Torment again. It's another Chainer's Torment start. It's a little bit on the slow side. We don't have any 2 or 3 drops, so there's some downside there. We also don't have a blue source again, which could cause problems. Maybe I should have mulliganed this. The more that I look at it, I'm like, maybe keeping this was the wrong choice. And we're about to find out the answer, if mulliganing might have been better. But I'm not entirely against keeping this. We certainly could have had a better starting hand, but I don't think this one's super bad. We've got so much good stuff to do once we find the land that we found right now, and then another 2 sources, or another 1 blue source. We've got stuff to do starting this turn and next turn, and the following turn now. I think we're in good shape. Drop the Cabal Paladin. Hopefully he doesn't kill that before we get to drop the Chainer's Torment. I'd like to be doing as much pinging with this guy as I can. Just call the cavalry coming down. There's another Sentinel with a Pearl Trident. As soon as we find our blue source, hopefully we find blue next turn. If we find blue next turn, this gets really nasty because we get to start blanking the Chainer's Torment and draining him for 4 every turn. I'm not going to attack. I'd actually rather have him swing into me and be trading past at this point. Blue source wins us the game. Black source does a lot for us as well. Each opponent Oh no, we lose our Cabal Paladin. Oh, that's bad. Okay. It's not terrible, but it's bad. We're still doing alright. And we're dropping Demon Lord Belzenok right now. Discards a card, so we'll discard the Relic Runner here. It's not playable, and it's the worst card in our hand. The Sentinels, as soon as they're playable, are actually pretty good. Chainer's Torment is going to be activating right now, though, which is a little bit of a bummer. Academy Drake. Ugh. Windgrace heals us back a little bit, so we're going to go from 7 to 10 here. I probably should have swung with Belzenok first, but he's almost tapped out. There isn't a whole lot of punishes here. I don't think there's any punish on a single black. So we will knock him to 10. We'll trade on his Windgrace Acolyte or his Serra Disciple if we get the choice. He's looking for... We've got a Windgrace. There's the Cabal Paladin. He's got Cabal Paladin. So he's looking for probably the Windgrace. Yep. Which still makes cat sounds. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's the sound that that's supposed to make, but that's definitely just a cat. If there was ever any question. Swings with everything. Swings with everything, huh? Do we assume that he has some sort of combat trick? I think I'm going to block like this because I'm going to assume that he has something that's going to boost his attack. And if we block the Serra Disciple, it guarantees that we're going to lose our thing. And this will block more damage. We can't just choose to leave Belzenok back as a blocker. Oh my god, that's so harsh. No blue source, man. So we're taking a lot of damage here. We're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're dead. Oh no. Oh, no we're not. He effed up. Oh no, we're still dead. Oof. Alright. It's kind of the downside of Chainer's Torment, as we're seeing in the last 2 games, is that as soon as they have any sort of removal, it ends up being too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe we cut Chainer's Torment here. Like, I don't want to cut Chainer's Torment, though. It does so much good stuff for us, as long as we can enable it properly. That game we did end up not finding a blue source, which is partially my fault for mulliganing wrong, I think. I should have mulliganed that hand back. And I think the game beforehand we should have done the same thing. We should have mulliganed back and looked for a little bit more early action and a second color source. So we'll try to be more careful on our mulligans. I think the idea was, though, that there's a pretty good chance that we're going to find a blue source by our 5th or 6th source that comes down, right? So we have 3 sources here. They are multiple colors. We have an Academy Drake to play on 3. We have a Kill Spell. We have a Chainer's Torment. We have Cold Water Snapper. This is a keep. This is a much better start, I think, than our last 2 starts have been. And we have Memorial to Genius that we can play tap turn 1. Opponent's on green. Green, white. With some artifacts. Volatile Servant coming down. We can Skin Witch here if we want to. I think it's fine too. So I'll go ahead and do it. We do have a Soul Salvage in the deck, so we could potentially buy it back later. I think Soul Salvage is also a card that's not necessarily as good as I was rating it when I drafted it. I think I could have drafted something else instead of the Soul Salvage. This is only my 4th or 5th draft of Dominaria in total, because I didn't get into this game until a month and a half ago. And I've been on vacation for 2 weeks of that month and a half. There is Rona. We'll wait to play Rona until after Chainer's Torment goes off. That does give us a reason to get Chainer's Torment down, though. And I think that's what we need to be doing differently, is waiting to actually have a reason to play Chainer's Torment instead of just playing it. Previously, I had just been slamming it on 4, and I don't think we have any real reason to do that. When you do it on 4, like, you get a big body out of it, but there's a good chance that the body's gonna die to removal, right? Instead, if we play it patiently, we can wait until we have a good reason to where we can either buy it back and keep that burn going, which is what we're able to do now. This turn, we could also just play Relic Runner, and we can start swinging in like that. I think this is a more efficient use of our damage and of our cards, not necessarily of our mana. So I'm going to do this. And swing in with Academy Drake here. And we're just going to start getting our unblockable damage in. There's Baird. That slows us down a little bit unless we find some extra mana. I'll make the block. There's no reason not to. He also doesn't have any reason not to swing, so. We have a Deep Freeze. Deep Freezing his Baird is an option. I'm going to do that. We're going to Deep Freeze his Baird. We're going to get in with Drake. And just keep nickel and diming him a little bit. This is kind of what this deck's really trying to do, is burn him through with little pings of a couple damage at a time, with Academy Drakes, Relic Runners, Evasion Creatures, and then Chainer's Torment, and the Cabal 4-2 dude that pings when you play Historics, which we've got a bunch of. And then keeping back stuff like Caligo Skin Witch as a blocker, having Cold Water Snapper available, Blink of an Eye. Like Looks pretty good. We can blink our Chainer's Torment, actually. After the second ping. For the flip. That was part of the reason that I was willing to pick that up, is because we can do stuff like that with Chainer's Torment. So we get in for 6 this turn. That's part of the reason that stuff like Relic Runner can make the cut as well. And the next turn we'll leave up the Blink of an Eye and we'll get in with Academy Drake again. Alright. We got it. We locked it down. Lock it down. Second win. I think that gets us enough gems to where we're going to be able to get back in. I might need one more win, but I think that's 200 at 2 wins, right? We should be good. We could have had 3 Jodas this draft. That would have been hilarious. 3 Joda Archmage Eternals. That also would have finished out my collection of Joda Archmage Eternal, where I'd have 4 of them. But I don't necessarily want 4 of these, so we can't keep this. 2 lands, no plays, unkeepable, absolutely unkeepable. This is a little bit better. We do have a Relic Runner that we can play. We have a Deep Freeze that can come out after that. We have a lot of kill spells. The Soul Salvage isn't really doing anything, but we do have both color sources. I'm willing to keep this. Put the mana source to the top. Swamp go. Island go. Or Island Relic Runner go. Swamp Deep Freezes thing. Probably not, but we could. Nav Compass. This guy is on a probably 3 color deck if he's playing Navigator's Compass. Island go. Relic Runner. We're not quite draw going. I'm glad that we're not quite draw going. Draw goes boring. I want to do stuff. I want to play stuff. I want him to play stuff and my stuff to be a bit bigger than his stuff. Not just countering his stuff. Wanted to do that would be playing blue, white, and constructed. Alright, Swamp. Combat. He is playing blue-white with a splash, assumedly. So we'll attack. All attacks. Probably splashing red from Bombardment, or something like that, if I had to guess. That's probably what the compass is for. Courser, okay. Let that resolve. So Courser's a little bit scary. We're not going to attack into it, and I don't think I want to spend a Deep Freeze on it yet either. So I think we're just passing the turn here. Just hit that end turn button. Islands. He's going to get in for 1, assumedly. Okay. No blocks. Let's see if he gives us a better target for Deep Freeze. If we can get another land, I'm okay with Blink of an Eyeing for 4 on the Pegasus Courser or on whatever else he plays. Zahid. Alright. That's freaking scary. I am 100% deep freezing that this turn. That doesn't wait. We just can't deal with that. No point attacking. He's got the wall. Would suck if we played into something by attacking that ended up getting our guy killed for free, right? So, not gonna do it. We can, however, drop Academy Drake on the following turn and start having some sort of... Are you freaking kidding me? Alright, land plays. We have a response to it, but we need land. We're stuck on 3. Here's the land. Settle the score. We should be through with Zaheeds now. I can't imagine this guy drafted more than 2 Zaheeds. I can't imagine the bots would pass him more than 2 Zaheeds. Could he have other big stuff? Sure. Does he have mana for other big stuff now? Yeah, kinda. Sergeant at Arms with Kicker. Well, it's not Zaheed. And it not being Zaheed's nice. We have Jousting Lance. We have Academy Drake. We have a Kicked Blink of an Eye if we want it. I think Academy Drake probably just about as good as it gets here. We can't kick it because we're a little bit short on lands. And then we'll be able to put a Jousting Lance on it later. So no attacks this turn. We can offer the block on one of the 1/1s if he swings in with them. Otherwise, we can block the 2/3. Hopefully, if we try to block, he doesn't have just an Adamant Will or something. We might not want to block at all just because of that, right? We could also just offer the trade on Relic Runner and assume that he'd rather have the 1-for-1 on the token if he swings in with everything. Okay, he's not swinging with everything, so my assumption off of this is that he does not have something like an Adamant Will. Maybe he does anyways, but I think we're safe. He's just going to be getting in with his Sergeant at Arms in the air. Which isn't a super fast clock, so not terrible. One, two, three, 4. Uh-oh. Even Sentry. It's a 3-2. It's pretty good. There we go. Swampy boy. Alright, so we'll play the Jousting Lance. We'll equip the Jousting Lance. And we're actually not going to attack with anything here. Because we're going to do something else. As long as he doesn't start tapping all of our stuff down, because that would really suck. I want to start trading his stuff off and get some of this value out of Soul Salvage. We have Blink of an Eye. and Sentinel with a Pearl Trident. Okay. As well as the Soul Salvage. We need to be doing stuff with our mana, otherwise we're gonna run out of stuff on the board. He's got a huge tempo advantage. Land is nice. We can Soul Salvage Academy Drake and play it this turn if we want to. But if we Soul Salvage, we can't pay extra on Blink or use Sentinel with Pearl Trident. So maybe what we do is we're going to actively, proactively Blink, I think. And we're going to Blink the Pegasus Courser so that he can't get in the air. We're going to pay the Kicker so that we can draw some cards. We just don't have any action right now. Caligo Skin Witch. It's something on the ground. It would let us multi-block. And then we can Soul Salvage it back. We actually need stuff to be able to Soul Salvage back just to get value out of it. We're definitely playing from behind here. So we've got to play really smart. He's got a land. He's got a Courser that he can drop. I'm going to drop the Courser. He's going to go to combat. And do nothing in combat. Okay. Well, that's fine. We can equip the Jousting Lance to the Skin Witch. And I guess we have to go ahead and just Soul Salvage for just Academy Drake. And next turn we'll kick it out. No attackers. So he's gonna get in for 4, assumedly. He's gonna swing in with these two. But I do think that Academy Drake might save the day here. If he is out of fuel, which he seems to be, and he doesn't find anything big in the next couple turns, Academy Drake could get us out of the hole. Yep, Trapper gets flying. He gets in for 4. We're at 11. That's really nice, too. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this down. We're going to kick it. Tap all my stuff. Make a 4/4 flyer. He needs removal. Still no attackers. We're not there yet. Not quite. Once we drop the Snapper and we move the Lance over to it, though, it's gonna start getting a little bit crazy. Top 3 cards. Oh no! My deck! What'd you put in the library? Land, Belzenok. Okay, that's fine. If we can run a Belzenok back, that's going to be real nice. I have no major qualms with that. Knight of Grace. That's a scary card. And it has a hexproof from black, which is not prot black. We can Zahid. I think Zahid's better than Snapper at this current point in time. Yeah, we'll pay 4 and tap our equipment. Is fine by me. Start swinging in with Academy Drake, I guess. There's nothing that he can do about it, so let's do it. I could also swing in with Caligo Skinwitch this turn. I'd Relic Seeker if I wanted to, but this kind of goes shields down if we do all this. Maybe we just swing with Skinwitch and try to get him to trade. Him trading's kind of good for us. Like, if this trades on Knight of Grace, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. Alright. So I think if for whatever reason he were to attack, we block Knight of Grace with Zahid, we block Courser with Academy Drake, and we end up in pretty good shape. I'm going to get up for just 1 second and be right back. Alright, so we've got Snapper that can come down. We've got an Island, yep. Pick up the Snapper. Alright, how many things does he have on the board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count damage, actually. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage. Starting from 3, 3, 2. So we'd have to block at least 3 things to live. So we want to leave up at least 4 blockers, right? So we'll just swing only with Zahid, just to be extra safe here. We'll put him on a clock. He's got a couple turns until he's going to have to start blocking with Pegasus Courser. He has to do something. I think trying to go any faster than that's going to get us in trouble. Tap target creature, loses all abilities. Yep. I mean, I'm already tapped and attacking. That stops me from flying, which means that he can double block with those two, triple block with those two in Trickster. I kill one of them in Trickster for Zahid. It's not terrible for me, but it's also not great for me. Yep, yep. Okay. We kind of 2 for 1 on that. They're not cards of equal value, but they are both cards. He does still have dudes left over from one of those cards, which is why I wouldn't call it just a straight up 2 for 1, even if it's like 2 bad cards for 1 good card. A 2 for 1 still resources played, resources drawn out of the way. There's Rona. 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 Oh my, my. Rona. So we'll take Zahid because we can cast him immediately. Unlike Belzenok. And he's still a 5/6 in the air. He's not a 6/6 trampler, but he's darn comparable, and he gets us up on our feet a lot faster. And we are going to keep beating him with Drake. Since we can't swing with Zayid this turn, we do want to be applying some sort of pressure. Swinging with everything gets us killed. We need to be leaving back 4 to 5 blockers at minimum. There's an Academy Drake with Kicker. Okay. He's got a 4/4 flyer of his own. Cool thing about Sentinel is we can use it in response to him using a combat trick to block Zayid. Let's go to combat here. And we're going to start getting in with Zayid. And Drake, I guess. We kind of want to do both. I don't know if I can get away with doing both. We're just going to do Zayid for now. We've got the Sentinel. What are you afraid of? Put the pressure on. Force him to block. Yep. It's fine by me. So I wish that Rona could exile more, Oh, she can. Oh, we're gonna do something really gross that I just realized that we can do. We're gonna bounce Rona with Sentinel with a Pearl Trident. She's gonna buy us back Demon Lord Belzenok next turn. I'm so smart. Bet you didn't realize I could do that. I didn't realize I could do that until just now. Y'all probably did, actually. Y'all probably have been sitting here going, why aren't you bouncing Rhoda and buying stuff back? We are. I'm just a little bit slower than everybody else. Still running on DOS over here. My 8-bit operating system's trying to keep up. Oof. All right, opponent. Opponent's clocking out. I think they've realized that they've lost, and they're just trying to figure it out. Attacks? Are you going to make any attacks? You're going to get it in the air? Okay. Get it in the air for 4. Resolve. Can't do anything about it. Don't know if I'd want to. Blocks. Damage. Sentinel. Do your thing. Sentinel is going to blink Rona. Oh, I guess I did that at the wrong time, didn't I? Because the next end step's going to be the end of my turn. Is that going to cost me the game? I don't think I can attack this turn now, right? Well, I can't. I just can't attack with, Zayid. I've got to go in with, like, Caligo or something and try to both offer the trade and then get him to 5. Say hello, would you like to block with your Knight of Grace? I'm sure you would. Okay. Just chump blocking? That's fine. Slowly clearing off his board. So now I know how Sentinel works a little bit better. I haven't drafted this set enough to have actually played with it yet, but I misread that card just ever so slightly, and it made a pretty big deal. Pretty big difference. We'd have been threatening to kill him this turn instead of staring down another 4 damage coming this way. Potentially more. He can attack with everything, and I can block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I block the 3, 3, the 3, 2, the 3, 2, the 2, 3, and a 1, 1. And then we take 3. And he loses his whole board and loses. Assuming we don't kill ourselves with Belzenok. I think at most it does like 3 damage to us. We've still got the 5-drop, black flyer. We've got... We took out Feral Abomination, so we don't have that. We took out Fiery Intervention, so we don't have that. I think we've got at least one other 5-drop, though. Oh, it's 4 or greater, not greater than 4 as well. So that includes all of our 4-drops, which are 2 Paladins that are left in there. He didn't attack, which makes me feel a lot safer doing this. Uh-oh. Ouch. Okay. Windgrace heals us. Puts us to 3 cards. Chainer's Torment also heals us. And does not put us to 3 cards. So let's play Chainer's Torment and not die to crabs. That drains him. Which means he dies next turn, if we don't die this turn. We can also blink that with Sentinel. Alright. This is like the scariest game of Magic that I've ever played. So much fun. Alright, we're at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He only pushes through one of the attacks with everything. I think we won. Unless he's got a lightning bolt. And that's what his nav compass is for a Wizard's Lightning or a lightning bolt. Which would be hilarious. As he does swing in with everything and then does exactly 3 damage to us and we die. I'm very hopeful that that's not what's happening here. I'm going to remain very hopeful that that's not what's happening here. I'm just going to remain optimistic. And we're going to block with everything. Yo, what's up, Time Woven? How's it going, man? We're either about to win or lose this game. Hopefully we're about to win it. But I couldn't tell you for sure. He could have something here. This goes here. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So he's pushing 1 damage. If he doesn't have some sort of weird combat trick, he's pushing 1 damage. It's gonna have to be a good one. Charge. Charge. It pushes 2 damage. We still have our flyers. We should win on this. That should be a game. Oh man. Too close. Too close, 5 me. Man, I'm doing good. We're gonna be 3 wins in on this draft. 3 and 2 after this game. Assuming that I didn't miss something. We could also Wind Grace, which makes us dead to different things. So it doesn't really save us any grief here. Channer's Torment puts us to 4. Okay. I think we're good. Attacks. Belzenok. And Sentinel, we'll say. So he has to have a Flash Flyer and Life Gain in order to not die, and then he still would die to Trample. He'd have to have 2 kill spells. He only has 1 card in hand. He's dead. We did it! Oh, man. That match was stressful. That was actually stressful. I have not played a stressful game of Magic in a pretty long time. Most of them have been like either clear wins or clear losses. That was a stressful game. But that's a good sign. If you're playing a card game and you're playing a stressful game, it means that you're learning about the game and, you know, you're making mistakes, but hopefully you're learning from them. We learned that Sentinel of the Pearl Trident returns on the next end step, which means that if I play it during his end step, I don't get my thing back until my next end step, which caused me to get my Demon Lord Belzenok back later than I thought I would. So we are good for another draft as well off of this. We'd like to go to 4 or 5 wins would be great, but we are at this point good for another draft, which is sort of was my goal. Oh yeah, stressful in TCG is definitely a good thing. Stressful means that it was a good match, right? At the end of the day, that's a good sign. Are they adding Core 19 when it launches IRL? So they're adding it on the 12th. I don't know when the launch day is IRL, but we are getting Core 19 on the 12th. There's a special, like, pre-release special event on the 11th for a bunch of the streamers. I think there's like 30 streamers participating or something, but I'm going to be working that day, so I'm not going to be able to participate. This hand looks fine. We've got Deep Freeze, we've got Blink of an Eye, we've got Channer's Torment lined up. Which, one of the mistakes that we've made is playing Channer's Torment before we can really take advantage of it. This deck does a really good job taking advantage of this card. But, we played it really early, one of the games, and it cost us. And then another game we just kept when we didn't have a blue source, and we drew a bunch of blue cards with no blue sources. No island, no memorial to genius. So yeah, we get it on, I guess, is that Thursday? Is the 12th? Hold up, let me check my thing. Oh no, I made the sound go away by clicking. Yeah, Thursday. Skinwitch is good. We can play Skinwitch right now and just have a blocker on the board. That gives us more time to develop. And we're definitely playing a deck that's going to be favored in most matchups in the late game. So I'm a-okay with that. By the way, if anybody is here and is watching Go check out Time Woven here. He's another streamer. He plays a whole bunch of stuff. He plays Pokemon a little bit. He plays some Fire Emblem. He was playing some Mario Tennis Aces I saw at one point, and some Mario Kart. So he's just into some good fun Nintendo family friendly stuff, and he's a cool guy. So you should go check him out. Click that link right there, that one. The one that says twitch.tv/timewoven. And he's usually on a little bit later than I am. We're streaming a little bit later than usual ourselves today, just because we had stuff to do early this afternoon. My stream schedule's probably going to be moving more towards earlier in the morning. Starting Wednesday, I might start getting up and streaming at like 9 or something, as opposed to like 10 or 11 when I have been jumping on. Because I get to go in and flip burgers at 2 o'clock. Yeah, burger flipping. Opponent's on at least 3 colors. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing our thing. We're gonna keep swinging in for 1 while we can. We have the ability to just tempo somebody out by pinging their life a whole bunch, but we're drawing a bunch of 5 drops, and we've only got 3 mana on the board. I just received trucks all day. Yo, man, I used to do that. I used to work in a shipping department over at a storage facility in Lynchburg. Or not storage, it's like a shipping center, so to speak, for a group of companies. Oh, hey, Nightbot is on. Next time I can just use the chat out command. I'd assumed that it wasn't on because I haven't checked on him in a couple days. I need to go edit my Nightbot stuff because I'm like not really on the Pokemon Gym League stuff anymore. I'm not doing gym battles. No attackers. The Jousting Lance is a nice pickup because we can keep getting in with Caligo Skin Witch starting next turn if we don't find anything better to do. Deathbloom Fallad's going to get in. Yep. So our opponent's assumedly on green-black Fallad, splashing white for something. Yeah, we'll go ahead and equip up the Jousting Lance here. We've got Blink of an Eye potentially for next turn. We could drop the Chainer's Torment, or we could find land and drop Windgrace Acolyte, which is the play that we really want to make. Windgrace Acolyte has some good synergy on our deck since we have a bunch of legendaries and we have Arona. If we toss our Urgoros, or our Chainer's Torment, or our Zahid, or our Belzenok into the graveyard, and we get Arona, we can drop it and we can buy it back for free. Opponent has Gideon's Reproach. It's a little painful. But I'd rather have him Gideon's Reproach my Skin Witch than one of my big flyers like Urgoros. I'm going to assume that he has at least 1 more white card, probably a removal piece that he's splashing for. We can drop Windgrace here. Let's see what we hit on it. We don't hit our Rona, but if we do, we do. It's not the end of the day. We hit Cabal Paladin, Soul Salvage, and Swamp. The Soul Salvage sucks a little bit. That's another way that we can buy stuff back, but we jump to the yard with our Windgrace. Now we have an optional block here. It's almost a straight up trade if we block, but I think our Windgrace is worth more than his Deathbloom Fallad is. Okay, never mind. We don't have any choices. We're just gonna get Eldest Reborn. Discounted Zahid, don't mind if I do. That's a laugh in the face of all of his removal that he's chucking our way, assuming that he doesn't have more. He could, but Do I count on them having more than 2 removal spells in hand? I don't think that it's necessarily the thing to be like, yeah, he probably's got a whole bunch of just removal in his hand and nothing else. I think I want to chuck Windgrace here. I was looking at, like, do I chuck Deep Freeze or something? But I think Deep Freeze... We've got a Zahid on the board. Zahid, whatever. Get the big old Legendary Djinn. He's going to be beaten in. We want some stuff to back him up. We've got Deep Freeze, we've got Chainer's Torment. We can Blink of an Eye the Chainer's Torment to get it to do another round of stuff. There's the Blessed Light. Ouch. Alright. Just non-stop on that. We'll go ahead and drop the Chainer's Torment. It'll heal us a little bit. It'll hurt him a little bit. He's going to get to buy something back this turn. He's going to buy back our Zahid this turn. He's going to get a big old 5/6, and we're going to Deep Freeze it. Which means that our Chainer's Torment's going to pop if we don't blink it instead. He made Cabal Paladin instead of taking Zahid? Why, though? How many historic spells could you have? Well, let me answer that question for you, kind sir. This is a Slimefoot Stowaway. Memorial's nice. So now we need to make the decision of whether we want to blink the Chainer's Torment this turn or Deep Freeze one of his things. And that's probably the call. Let's Deep Freeze his Cabal Paladin. And then we'll blink X1 on his turn on it. I should pay careful attention to how my land taps when I'm doing stuff like this. I wasn't paying attention. That could have went back for me. Not actually with the lands that we had, but let's say that I had less islands. It could have tapped all of our islands out. We can drop Snapper next turn, or we can drop Urgaros next turn. Probably Snapper first. Snapper is going to get around a lot of what he's doing. But he is going to start to make Sapperlings and sack them pretty soon. Feral Abomination. Rip. I actually don't have a good enough way to deal with that. We might just have to drop to 5. I don't think I can opt to drop to 5. I have to opt to drop to 5. I don't have any choice, do I? Oh no, we're gonna drop to... Oh, this is really bad. Yeah, we're gonna lose this round, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna drop to 5, and then we're gonna drop to 2 and make a 3/3 off of Chainer's Torment. We have to blink the Feral Abomination. Because if I blink Chainer's Torment, I don't have enough mana up to do anything else. It buys a turn from us dying to, just Feral A-Bomb with Death Touch. We can put Jousting Lance on the Snapper. Okay, maybe we're okay. Maybe we're okay. So we can Jousting Lance the Snapper next turn. I need to find another Windgrace somehow, which are both in the graveyard. We don't have any more Windgraces. We need to find Rona. We need Rona off the top, and we need to not be dead before then. We find Rona off the top. We put Jousting Lance on Snapper. It trades on A-Bomb. You are just Sapperlings, right? Not, yeah. Windgrace. Okay, so we have to play Academy Drake next turn. We can't kick it. Because we have to equip Jousting Lance. Actually, no, we don't have to equip Jousting Lance. We can kick it. Kicking it's fine. We can't kick it. We don't have mana to kick it. We have to play it unkicked. Okay. I'll figure this out one of these days. Playing Relic Rider is better than equipping Jousting Lance Bolts right now. You've got a block here. You can block most of his stuff just fine. Let's offer a trade. Let's not offer a trade. Let's think about offering a trade, and then change our minds. Because if he trades here, he gets a solid off of it. We're going to take one off of that. He only has to make one more for us to lose. There's some world where maybe we live through this, but I'm not sure it's this world. Fungal infection. Does fungal infection mean that we're dead? It does if he has a sacrifice outlet. Not swinging with Slimefoot, okay. Trade, kill, take one. Rona, Chander's Torment, Kurazov kills us. Let's see what that last card is. Let's hope that it's better. I'm hopeful. I'm not highly hopeful, but I'm hopeful. Oh my god, that guy's huge. It's a huge freaking guy. Alright, yep, we're dead. Good game. Block with the... No, you gotta block with the 1-1. What are you doing? I gave you the chance to BM me and you didn't do it. Or maybe that is the BM. Maybe not doing it's the BM. Maybe he chose the optimal BM play. So that's gonna finish us out at 3-3. On what is potentially our last or our next to last quick draft for this set. Certainly could be our next to last. But I'm not going to quite log us off here. We're going to go for a little bit longer. I'm going to go and we're going to play around with one of my decks that I've been playing with and having a real fun time, which is Gearhulk Reanimator. I'm going to update my information real quick. Steam info updated, stream info updated successfully. Steam info. I don't think we're on Steam. Alright. Oh, yeah, give me my rewards first. Before we run out of here. Let's get my 300 gems. Let's get my pack. Let's open the pack. Come on, wild card. Hey, Steel Wave Champion's good. That's a good card that we don't have. I'm not mad about that. Alright, so this is the deck that we're playing.